Yo, what's up, guys? Richard DeBerry with Live Phone Young K9, which stands for The Foundation. Hey, we're going to do a little kennel talk one-on-one again, guys. It's about that time somebody asked for some kennel talk. Well, let me tell you what's on my mind this time. I keep getting this question, man, or people making a statement to me that this kennel setup and everything is their dream. And then I get the statement in question on, how do you run a kennel facility? How do you have a kennel facility your size? So I kind of want to try to help out as many as y'all as I can to understand that one thing, well, actually a few things when it comes to having a kennel, running a program of facility the size, what it takes to get there, and the type of planning that you have to put into this. Guys, this is a business. So when you're developing and building a business, you gotta have a business plan. I can always remember growing up or getting after college or in college, and the teacher telling you to develop a business plan. I used to say to myself, I don't need no plan. I got a good idea. I'm gonna open up my business. Well, guys, that's not the way it works. And here's why. You gotta have some strategy and understanding about what you're doing, how long it's gonna take you to get there, what hurdles you may come across, what's gonna be easy, what's your long-term goals, how much it's gonna cost you. Because listen, this ain't nothing about this free. And people take for granted when it comes to having a kennel, they forget that there's a cost to feeding the dogs. This is an expense, guys. And so look, my advice to you is this. Write down what breed of dogs you're in. Understand the breed first. So if you don't understand the breed first, look at what the breed standards are. And y'all have heard me talk about this before. The breed standards. Don't develop a new game plan. Same stuff I've told you. Just go off of what the breed standards are and breed to that. Don't try to create no new color. Don't try to create no new size. Don't try to have the monster mega sized dog. Just follow the blueprint and what's already there on what the breed standard should be. That's all you have to do to start off, is understand the breed first. Once you have a solid understanding of the breed, then you have to look at breeders. Understanding pedigrees, and this is something that I realized that a lot of people don't understand pedigrees, and this is what causes you to have a lot of scatterbred dogs. When you got Mike and John both have the same breed dog and want to breed the dog together, not knowing the history and the background of what the dog came from and genetics, and who was the great grandparents, what type of genetics did that dog have? You have to understand the pedigrees of these dogs before you breed them, so you can help eliminate problems. So understand the pedigree, research your breeders, and try to buy from the best breeders in the world. Try to buy from breeders that are matching and doing the things that you want to do, not just any old body that has the same type of dog you have. Now, if you want to do it for a short-term run, then breed with anybody. But if you're trying to develop and really become a professional breeder, what a lot of people say they want to be, then take the necessary steps and find the right breeders in the game that's breeding to the standards that matches what the breed standards are. Now, something else, and this is where a lot of people fall short. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people fall short on the fact that they just want to have a yard full of dogs that may look good, that may not look good. They don't do nothing with the dog at all. Let me tell you something, guys. That ain't the way it works. If you're gonna be a professional breeder, you need to be able to do something with the dog. The dog needs to have some type of obedience with it, some type of title, some type of you showing that you actually have some type of relationship with the dog, compared to just animals inside of a pen that you're trying to use to breed to make money off of. That's not what it's about. Like, have a real relationship with the dog, do something with the dog with us in the breed standards, enter AKC dog shows, like, do something with the dog. Like, all of my dogs, I think I have 3 younger ones, but they all have some type of title. And yes, I show my dogs. Yes, I work some of my dogs. And I do that because it's the right thing to do. I'm not just trying to have a bunch of dogs in kennels that I'm just breeding to try to make money off of. I'm trying to do right by the dog too. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. If you're gonna do this, compared to just having a bunch of dogs in a kennel, do right by the dog first. Like, love the dog, like my boy Trevor would say, love the dog first. And you love the dog by doing right by the dog. So make sure that you get into something where it at least proves the confirmation or the workability of the dog, whatever you want to kind of specialize in. I like doing both sides. I like being able to work the dog, and I like being able to show some dogs. And I typically will work my male dogs mostly, and I show both, but I typically show my female dogs. That's just my recipe on what I do. You don't have to follow it, but that's something that I do. Now, let's talk about business again, because that's what we on. Like, you got to make sure that you have insurance, kennel licenses, like get the dog's health checked. And I've talked, these are some things, if you watch some of my videos, I've talked about these things before. Like, guys, get insurance on your kennel, get insurance on your dogs. These are your pet investments, because this is a business. So make sure that you do those things that are not typical of your backyard breeders. Do the right steps. The more you do the right steps, the more long-term and beneficial your program will be, and the more success you'll have, because it's showing that you really freaking care, and that you're doing certain things to protect yourself, to protect your business, and that you truly are invested into the dogs, not just have a bunch of dogs in a yard that you're breeding. So that's another tip, man. Like, if you stay on top of just the little things like that, which are huge, that most people don't want to do because they're backyard breeders and they're just trying to hustle some dogs. They don't have no relationship with the dogs don't change. And listen, I know a lot of breeders who got a lot of dogs that the dogs are not even obedience trained. All my dogs are obedience trained, minimum. Like, so spend time with the dog. And then let's talk about this. Do you have an accountant? Like, who tracks the money in and out for what you're spending on your dogs? And then when you sell, hey. And then when you're selling puppies, like, how y'all tracking these things? Is this something you're thinking about? Or are you treating it like, hey girl? Or are you treating it like a drug game where you're just making a quick hustle? If you're doing that, again, you're not gonna last long. You're gonna be thinking you're making a lot of money, and then the next thing you know, the dogs are gonna be suffering because you don't have the financial capability that you may once have had. And if y'all are wondering what I'm feeding, I'm gonna talk about that real quick. And that's another subject. It's another whole subject. And I try not to get into this too heavy because y'all that follow me know I own a raw dog food company, but I'm feeding a premium blend. I'm adding in some fish, so I'm getting more omega-3, 6, and 9 for the dogs because I'm trying to double down on omegas. And one of this blend right here, which is the ultimate blend, already has fish in it. So some of the dogs, they're getting 4 pounds. Some of the dogs getting 5 pounds. And I got a couple of dogs I'm feeding 7 pounds. And again, health and nutrition. If you're gonna breed dogs, don't just feed your dogs any old thing and thinking that you're doing best by the dog because they're eating. Do your research on the quality of the food that you're feeding the dog. I mean, guys, it's the little details that everybody want to cut corners on that will separate you from the other breeders. And let's talk about that for a second. When people reach out to me, they can always say, and I say it, and I take pride in it, I do this shit differently. Like, my program, I try to make sure it's different from every other, not even person, just breeder program. Like, what are you gonna do to separate yourself? What are you gonna do to separate your program to make you unique, to make people realize that you really care about your dogs and that you are a professional, not just some guy breeding dogs in his backyard? You have to be able to have identifying factors and identifying solid credentials on things that you actually do that separates you from the rest of the breeders that's out there. That's a huge nugget, man. Like, have something to identify yourself from everybody else, guys. Like, don't blend in, do something different, have something about your breeding program that stands out. Don't match John that puts you in the game. Have your own uniqueness and have a set of pride to where your kennel name, when people see it, means something. And if y'all also wondering what this is a powder, a supplement called New Pro that makes what I'm feeding a complete diet for the dog. Where did I sit my thing down there? That makes it a complete diet for the dog. So that's when you see me adding a supplement in. And look, if you notice as we going by, here's another point. You got to keep a neat and clean facility. Like, I have like this policy where as long as somebody calls me, I don't like people to pop up to my house. Like, that's just not my thing. But as long as somebody calls me and give me a heads up, hey, can I stop by and see the dogs? I always say absolutely. Come on by. And I do that because, one, I don't have nothing to hide. My facility stays neat and clean. I mean, every now and then a dog will poop in the kennel, but for the most part, we're on top of it. So what I'm telling you is, have a neat and clean facility. Have a neat and clean facility to where it's extremely professional. So when your clients come by to visit your facility, again, they realize that you are putting the dogs first. And they realizing the care and the love that you have for the dogs. And it's not just all talk. This ain't something that you can fake. This right here, guys, you can't fake this side of it. You can't make believe that you have a nice facility. You can't make believe somebody that your kennels are clean. You can't make believe this. So y'all probably wondering what I'm giving them. I know y'all are, because y'all gonna be hitting me up asking me, what you giving them? Well, I'm gonna switch subjects on you. Again, these are all little nuggets to help you out. When we are breeding dogs and we have dogs coming into season, I increase on some of the supplements. And I know y'all gonna ask, but listen, don't ask me everything. Google it. Like, Google it. Like, Google is your friend. No different than me. I'm your friend. I don't mind helping you out. But again, understand health testing, genetics, understand reproduction. Okay, what does that mean? When I'm breeding dogs, it's certain things as far as nutrition that I'm gonna make sure that I'm on top of with the dog and that they have, so I don't have any, like, male dogs can have motility problems. What do you do to increase a dog motility? Female dogs, after they have birth, I get so many people call me, hey man, my mom dog is doing this to the puppies and doing this. I'm like, bro, did you get a dog any calcium? What do you mean? Guys, you can't just breed dogs and not understand the proper care and maintenance that comes with it. So make sure you do your research on reproduction. What does it take to do the proper reproduction on the dogs after they have babies or before they have, like, pre and post? Like, what do you do? Like, and I'm not the person to call and ask all these questions to. I don't mind helping it here and there, but it gets to the point where And again, I don't mind helping, but you get so many people calling you asking the same questions all day to questions that you can actually Google. It's like, come on guys, like Google the question. I had to figure it out because it's important to my success. And I don't like losing, and I'm not gonna risk the dogs from my lack of understanding and me not putting into my program what should go into it. But y'all wanna see what it is, don't you? And I've told y'all before. Ah, there it is. I showed you, but I'm giving this, if you notice, all my male dogs are on this side. And I did that for a reason. My reason was this. No different than women. When you got a woman comes into her heat cycle, other women in the house, y'all know how that goes. It falls into play too. So I put all my females on one side, and it's like a chain reaction. When one dog goes in heat, others will follow. I'm telling you, just another little trick of the trade that I do, that I've picked up on because I understand the dogs. I've done some research, and I experiment with certain little things to see what makes the difference. And these things that I'm sharing with you guys are some really game-changing points and tips. And I always tell you, you ain't got to follow my advice, but I'm telling you some stuff based on my experience. And my experience ain't got to be nothing to you. And there's gonna always be somebody that's smarter and better than me. And I don't challenge that. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. And I'm gonna continue to try to help the one person or two people that I can get to the next level and achieve whatever their goal may be. What's wrong with you, dude? And again, Urian getting 5 pounds. Then we're gonna come down to Mr. Idol. Idol is a dog that I'm putting weight on. 3 years old male. Another subject that I've talked about before. I'm giving y'all some stuff in this video, man. Don't rush your dogs. Don't rush your dogs. I'm gonna say that one more time. Don't rush your dogs. What does that mean, Richard? That means that don't breed your dogs too early, man. My male dogs, I don't do nothing with them before the age of 2 years old as far as breeding. My female dogs, same thing, 2 years old, he's getting 7 pounds, 2 years old, 3rd heat cycle, then I'll breed the dog. I'm not doing that before then. I'm giving the dog time to fully grow and develop before I start to breed them. I see guys breeding dogs at their 1st and 2nd heat cycles. I'd be like, yo, let the damn dog grow up, bro. Let the dog grow up. Like, if you're gonna be in this for a long time, at least care about the dog. Don't be in such an urgent rush to make money off of them. And look, buyers, if you buying a dog, ask the breeder how old the dog is. And that'll let you know what he's really about. Again, you can't fake that. You can't fake that. You wanna see what a person really about? Ask them how old the dogs are that they bred. Huge identifier. Huge. But guys, that's what's on my mind. I'm trying to help you guys that want to help get to the next level, start your own breeding program, but give you some pointers and tips that's gonna help you be successful. And they're just pointers and tips. It ain't nothing that, like, again, you don't have to do none of this shit that I'm telling you. Who am I? Nobody. I'm just a guy that got a bunch of dogs, that he loves his dogs, and I don't mind sharing information with people that want to listen to better their program, to accomplish some of their goals and dreams. And I appreciate the support, and this is why I do stuff like this and share these type of moments with you guys to help you get and accomplish your dreams, to let you know it ain't all peaches and cream. Because there are days like today for me, I wasn't really motivated to do all this. I had a lot of things personally that happened, but you can't take that out on the dog. You gotta still love your dogs and do right by the dogs. But anyhow, guys, I'm winding down. I gotta get those guys some fish too. I'm winding down. getting to the end, but I want to at least touch bases with you guys, let y'all know some things to think about and consider when you're getting into breeding dogs. It ain't a game. You're dealing with animals. It's real life. You got to do the proper care and take care of them the right way. Do your health tests. Set up your business properly. Network. Do something with the dogs. Man, y'all watch this video a couple times, man, because I told y'all some stuff that's extremely beneficial for those that want to listen and learn. I dropped some gems in this video because a lot of it's been on my mind because y'all keep hitting me up about different questions. So I'm sharing some stuff with y'all that I haven't. Some of it I've told y'all before. But guys, realize this is a real game that impacts people's lives and animals. Like, you can't just wing this shit. This ain't nothing you can fake. But again, you already know what time it is. Get you a presser.